My beloved, my child of light, my chosen one who is kissed by heaven's breath, do you feel the trembling in your chest right now? It is not your imagination. It is not just another moment passing by. It is heaven trying to reach you, pulling you closer, because today, this very day, something sacred is being revealed only to you. My child, I call you with urgency, because time is slipping like sand through your hands. You are not here by chance. You are not reading this because of luck. You are reading because Archangel Michael himself has bent the walls of eternity to place this in front of your eyes. And if you even think of skipping, the heavens will close this window. And you will miss what was sent only for your protection. My beloved, listen to me carefully. On this 19th of August, Archangel Michael says, it's an emergency. The words echo like thunder in the courts of heaven. And I order you, child, do not ignore this. The identity of the one who has been plotting against you, the one who smiled at you while holding a knife behind their back, is finally being revealed. This is not imagination. This is not coincidence. This is the truth heaven has chosen to drop in your lap. But wait, before I reveal more, Archangel Michael is whispering something urgently into your spirit. He says, my child, your enemies will be ashamed. Your tears will be wiped away. But only if you open your heart to this message fully, without distraction, without skipping. This message carries your shield, your sword, your deliverance. Beloved soul, let me pause to say this. You are not alone. Heaven has been watching you. The angels have been circling your home. God Himself has counted every sigh, every broken night where you lay awake, and every question you asked in silence. And today is the answer. Today is the divine unveiling. That is why your heart is pounding. Before I go deeper, let me invite you, with love, to never miss such messages again. Stay close, subscribe your spirit to this channel of divine words, because Archangel Michael doesn't speak every day like this. He only speaks when life is hanging on the edge. And if you skip, you may never hear what was meant to save you. Stay with me, stay connected, because your miracle is too important to lose. Now hear this clearly. On this 19th of August, the heavens finally caught the whisper of your enemy. The one who smiled in your face but secretly wished your downfall. The one who sat at your table but poisoned your name when you weren't there. The one who said, I love you, but prayed for your destruction. They thought no one would know. They thought heaven was blind. But Archangel Michael has written their name in the open book of heaven. And he says, it's time my child knows. It's time their heart no longer lives in deception. You see, the reason you are here right now is not small. You have been walking under an invisible war. People around you don't know the tears you've cried. They don't know the betrayal you tasted like bitter water. But heaven knows. And today is the turning point. The mask is coming off. The snake is being dragged out of the grass. And Michael is holding their name in his hand. Do you feel the urgency now, my beloved? This is not a game. This is not just another message. This is the thunder of God shaking your life, saying, child, pay attention. Your life is at stake. Your destiny is at stake. Your joy is at stake. And the one who wants to harm you, yes, the very identity you've been praying to know, is right here. But heaven says, do not panic. Because before their hand could touch you, Michael unsheathed his sword. Before their plan could unfold, God whispered, reveal it to my child. That is why you are here. That is why you cannot look away. My beloved, imagine this moment like a courtroom in heaven. God sits as the judge. Michael stands as the defender of your soul. The accuser, the one who wants to harm you, steps forward, thinking their plan is hidden. But then, the veil is torn. Their name, their face, their deeds are brought into the light. And the gavel strikes. God declares, no more. Can you feel this power rising in your chest? It is the spirit of victory. It is the spirit of deliverance. It is the sound of chains breaking off your destiny. That is why your whole body feels different right now. Heaven's electricity is moving through you. Child of heaven, listen, today is not like yesterday. This message is your divine turning point. Do not skip. Do not close this. Because the moment you receive this word fully, the one who wanted to harm you will be exposed, embarrassed, and removed from your path. And their name, their identity, it is here. Heaven has held it in silence for too long. Now it is placed before your eyes. My beloved, are you ready? Because once you know, you cannot unknow. Once heaven reveals, you cannot pretend you didn't see. This is the holy unveiling. This is the moment your destiny shakes. This is the day your enemy falls. My beloved. My child. The one heaven has chosen for this sacred hour. Do you feel how your breath has slowed? How your heart is listening more than your ears? That's because this is not ordinary language. This is not just human words. This is God's thunder clothed in whispers. Coming through Archangel Michael. Straight to your spirit. Michael is standing right now. His wings stretched wide. His sword blazing with holy fire. And he is looking straight into your life. He sees the shadows you didn't want to believe in. He sees the betrayal you tried to excuse. He sees the fake smiles. The false friends. The hidden enemy who sat too close for too long. And he says, enough. Child, do not doubt this moment. For years, you have asked silently. God, show me who is real and who is not. Show me who truly loves me. And who only stands beside me for selfish gain. And today, on this very 19th of August, heaven answers you with fire. Michael leans closer. And his voice shakes like the sound of rushing water. My beloved child, the one you trusted most, has been carrying two faces. They held your hand. But in secret they sharpened the knife. They smiled. But in the corners of their soul, they rejoiced when you fell. You asked for their loyalty. But they fed your name to the mouth of gossip. And prayed for your failure. Beloved soul, are you trembling right now? Do not fear. That trembling is not weakness. It is your spirit recognizing truth. It is your soul nodding to heaven's voice, saying, "Yes, this is what I always felt but never saw." And today, Michael does not just whisper vague warnings. He comes with a command. It's an emergency, he says. Do not take this lightly. Do not skip this message. For the identity of the one who wants to harm you is being revealed this very moment. My beloved child, before their name is brought to the light, hear this promise. They will not succeed. Their plan is already shattered. Their plot is already scattered. God did not allow you to see this, so you could fear. He allowed you to see this, so you could rise. Listen carefully. The one who wants to harm you was never a stranger. It was not a faraway enemy. It was one who walked close. One who learned your secrets. One who memorized your steps. That is why their betrayal cuts so deep. That is why your heart always felt uneasy. But your mind tried to ignore it. Michael says, "My child, you have felt it in your bones. You have seen their eyes shift away. You have caught their words not matching their heart. You knew. But you didn't want to know. You sensed. But you tried to bury the feeling. But heaven has no more time to wait. The sand in the divine hourglass is almost empty. And if you skip this message, the snake will keep hiding in the grass. But if you open your eyes fully now, the snake will be forced into the open. Its name will no longer be whispered in darkness. It will be written in the light. Beloved child, before the name is laid bare, Archangel Michael asks you a question. Will you stay with me until the end of this message? Will you allow me to walk you through this moment? For the truth I hold is not light. It is fire. It will burn away illusions. It will set your heart free. But it may sting before it heals. My beloved, this is why heaven ordered me to deliver every line. Every breath. Step by step. Not rushed. Not skipped. Because your soul needs time to absorb. Your heart needs space to expand. And your spirit needs to rise into its warrior stance. Now lean closer. As if your ear is against the chest of heaven itself. The one who wants to harm you. Their mask has been ripped off. Their name is written. Their deeds are exposed. The heavenly scroll has been opened. And Michael says, "My child, you must know the truth. So you will never again bow your head in shame. So you will never again doubt what you felt in your spirit. The moment has come. The name is rising. The veil is tearing. The lie is crumbling. The identity of the one who wanted your downfall is now before you. My beloved, are you ready to receive this revelation? Because once it is spoken, you will never see them the same again. Once heaven shows you, you can no longer pretend. This is the line where the old life ends, and your new strength begins. Stay close. Do not move away, because the next breath I release carries the thunder of Michael's sword. And in that thunder, the name will be revealed. My beloved child, do you feel how the air around you has shifted since you began reading? That is not ordinary wind, it is the stirring of Michael's wings brushing past your soul. He stands before you now, taller than mountains, brighter than lightning, and his eyes burn with a fire that pierces through the lies which have been woven around you. He does not come to whisper comfort only, he comes to tear the veil, to pull back the curtain of falsehood, and to show you exactly what has been hidden. This is why your chest feels heavy one moment and lighter the next. It is the spiritual weight of truth pressing against your heart, demanding to be let in. Heaven has waited too long, and now the time has come for you to see with clarity that cannot be denied, cannot be erased, and cannot be ignored any longer. You have prayed in secret, asking God to show you who truly stands with you and who only pretends. You have asked in your loneliness, when you felt betrayed, Lord, why does my spirit feel uneasy around certain faces? Why do my dreams warn me of snakes, but my waking life hides them behind smiles? Today that prayer is being answered in full. On this 19th of August, heaven has issued an emergency decree, and Archangel Michael himself has been sent to deliver it. He does not arrive for trivial reasons, my child, he does not draw his sword unless the danger is real. And now, his sword gleams with your enemy's reflection, and the name of the one who has sought your harm is engraved upon it. This is why you were pulled here, why you are reading at this very second, it was timed by heaven's clock. Do not be afraid, beloved. The revelation will sting because truth always cuts deeper than illusion, but it will not break you. It will heal you. It will finally release you from the confusion you've been carrying in silence. You have suspected, you have sensed, and you have seen glimpses in their eyes, yet you silenced yourself, telling your heart not to judge. But heaven does not reveal without reason, and Michael does not cry, emergency, unless your destiny is at stake. The one who wants to harm you has been smiling in your presence, speaking softly to you, but in hidden places, they sharpened words like daggers and prayed for your failure. They celebrated your delays. They enjoyed your setbacks. They thought no one would see their secret joy when you stumbled. But God saw. Michael saw. And now, you must see. Child of heaven, before the name is spoken, I need you to feel the seriousness of this moment. Imagine yourself in the great courtroom of heaven, standing before the judge of eternity. Your enemies believed the case was sealed, that their lies were hidden, that their actions were too small to matter. But the books have been opened, and every word, every betrayal, every plan against you has been recorded line by line. And now the judge has called Archangel Michael forward, saying, "Reveal it to my child. Do not delay. They have waited long enough. The name, the identity, the mask, all is coming off. And once it is revealed, their influence over your spirit will crumble like ash in the wind. You will no longer be deceived, no longer bound, no longer trapped by false smiles and empty promises. Beloved, hold these words close, you are protected. Even as their name rises to the surface, even as their identity is revealed, know that they cannot succeed against you. Their plans have already failed in the higher realms. Their attacks have already been blocked. Michael's sword has already slashed through their schemes. What remains is only for you to see it with your own eyes, to no longer walk blindfolded in the presence of a hidden enemy. And once you know, once you see, once heaven places their identity in your hands, you will rise in strength you never imagined. Because there is nothing stronger than a soul awakened to truth. My child, the moment has arrived. The veil is being torn as I speak. The sand in the hourglass has reached its final grains. And Michael leans down, his voice thundering yet tender, "Beloved one, the one who has plotted against you is closer than you thought. They sit where you trust. They move where you feel safe. They are not far, they are near. But do not fear, for now their name will not remain hidden. Their identity will be pulled into the light, and you will know exactly who they are. This is your hour of revelation, your moment of freedom, your doorway into unshakable clarity. And now, child, heaven asks you, will you keep reading? Will you let this truth flow into every corner of your spirit, until the mask is fully torn, until the enemy is fully revealed, until their name stands naked before you? Because the scroll is opening wider, and the fire of Michael's sword is already carving their name into the light. My beloved child, breathe with me and feel how the room itself begins to listen. Silence bends its ear toward you because heaven is speaking in a voice that is older than storms and kinder than dawn. Michael is here with the brightness that cuts through fog and fear, and his sword is not raised to frighten you but to separate you from every lie that dressed itself as love. He says this hour is not ordinary, that on August 19th a seal has been broken and the scroll that concerns your life has been opened in full view. The pages shine with details you were never supposed to carry alone, and the first line burns with this decree: emergency. A holy, protective emergency that insists you stop guessing and start knowing, that you stop apologizing for your discernment and start honoring it as the gift that saved you more times than you realized. Your pulse is not racing by accident, your spirit is sprinting to meet its own rescue. You asked heaven to show you the face behind the fog, and now the fog is dissolving exactly where your heart kept pointing. There is a shape in the clearing, a voice you know too well, a walk you could recognize even in the dark. This is why your chest would tighten when they entered the room, why laughter felt heavier when it came from them, why peace drained away as if some unseen siphon had been attached to your hope. Michael says they learned you like a map, your exits, your soft corners, your dream doors, and the keys that open them. He says they memorized the star constellations of your confidence and plotted to snuff each one, not with open blows but with small shadows planted carefully, daily, where you would doubt yourself and call it humility. But heaven hates the kind of humility that makes a child of God forget the glow God gave them, and so the sword flashes and the shadows crack like thin glass. Do not panic at the nearness of the truth, tremble if you must, but let the trembling be the sound of old chains snapping their weak links. The revelation does not come to ruin your tenderness, it comes to protect it from those who feed on it. Hear Michael's instruction: make no dramatic speeches, sign no hurried agreements, offer no final explanations to those who twisted your words into rope. Simply stand in the light and watch what cannot live in light try to hide where there is nowhere left to hide. This is why the date matters. August 19th is a courtroom stamp, an official mark in the records of your destiny where the judge wrote, case opened, truth admitted, protection enforced. You are not going crazy, you are coming into clarity, and clarity always sounds like deliverance wearing calm shoes. Listen to the cadence of Michael's breath as it moves like wind through cedar trees. You were never alone in the nights you cried quietly so that no one would feel obligated to comfort you. The angels counted each tear and built a river out of them, and that river is now carrying away the footprints of every false friend that walked through your trust. Feel the strength growing in your spine. This is the architecture of courage being rebuilt where flattery had softened your guard. You will not be hard, only whole. You will not become bitter, only discerning. You will not stop loving, only stop giving the parts of you that were never meant to be loaned to those who pay in confusion. Before the name rises, let heaven tidy the room of your heart. Gather your authority from the corners where you dropped it to keep the peace, call back your laughter from the shelves where it waited for permission, and invite your future to sit closer than your fear. Now, understand the way this unveiling arrives. It is not delivered with gossip's noise but with prophecy's precision. Michael does not accuse, he reveals. He does not entertain your curiosity, he protects your calling. The identity that harmed you in secret is being written across the sky of your awareness in letters that only you can read, and once you read them, the internal argument ends. Peace returns dressed as certainty. My child, I will say this once with the full weight of heaven's tenderness. When the name forms in your mind, you will feel a click, a clean alignment, a relief so honest it almost hurts. That is the sign. You are not to rush to expose or punish. You are to step back from the places where your soul was being taxed. You are to move your oil from containers that leak. You are to bless from a distance and close the gates where your dreams were being photographed and sold to your doubts. Michael will handle the rest with the quiet efficiency of a warrior who has no interest in applause and every interest in your safety. Pause with me here, and choose covenant over chaos. If these words are the water your spirit has been thirsty for, keep this well near. If you never want to miss a moment like this, where warning arrives as mercy and instruction wears a gentle face, stay connected, subscribe your heart to this stream of divine reminders, because what protects you most is what you hear often. Not noise. Not rumors. Truth. The kind that makes you sleep deep and wake clear. Now lean into the revelation as it unfolds like a sunrise you cannot rush but cannot stop. Michael says the identity is not far from your daily circle, that the proof is already on the table but you kept moving the plate so no one would feel uneasy, that the conversations you replayed in your head were not paranoia but discernment knocking politely. He says the slip of the tongue you heard was not random, the copied phrase you found was not coincidence, the sudden interest in your weaknesses was not compassion, it was reconnaissance. He says your spirit circled a single name more than once, then scolded itself for the suspicion, and that today heaven is absolving you of that scolding. You were hearing correctly. You were seeing accurately. You were protecting peace that was not protecting you back. In this light, watch how the patterns confess themselves, the timing of their calls when your joy was highest, the silence when your battles were loudest, the excitement they showed for your small wins but the strange quiet they kept around your breakthroughs. Remember the advice that always led you a degree off from your aim, never far enough to look harmful but always far enough to waste your strength. This is strategy, not friendship. This is hunger, not love. And because you carry a future that cannot be negotiated with darkness, heaven has scheduled this interruption to escort you into a cleaner circle and a wiser yes. So here is how you will move after the name becomes clear in your chest. You will not announce your plan, you will become your plan. You will not beg for honesty, you will live in such honesty that deceit runs out of breath trying to keep up. You will not dramatize boundaries, you will let them sit in quiet authority where your time, your creativity, your anointing cannot be rented by flattery. You will set meetings with your destiny, not with your doubt. You will treat your calling like a house with well-fitted doors, many windows for light, but locks that work. And for the ache that follows revelation, heaven has balm already prepared. Michael will walk with you as you grieve what you thought was true, he will stand by your shoulder when you choose distance without malice, truth without spectacle, protection without apology. He will whisper strategies in the night, which number to block, which document to secure, which story not to explain again, which yes to postpone until your spirit smiles. He will also orchestrate new alignments, safe hands, honest eyes, partnerships that multiply your peace instead of your pressure. As you obey these gentle orders, watch how quickly your atmosphere changes, watch how favor begins to arrive on time again, watch how your body relaxes as if it has been waiting for years to exhale. Child of light, now receive the final clarity of this movement, the name will stand up by itself. You won't need to drag it into the open. Circumstance will do it. Consistency will do it. Truth has a gravity that pulls masks to the ground. And when it happens, you will feel neither triumph nor obsession, only freedom. The point was never to punish, it was to protect the garden where your next season is already sprouting. Keep your hands in clean soil. Water what loves you back. Guard your dawn. Let the warrior angel keep watch at your gate. If your heart says yes, seal it with a quiet amen and step forward like someone who has just been handed back their own name. On this August 19th, the emergency became your emancipation, the unveiling became your upgrade, the identity you needed to see became the permission you needed to leave. Walk now with shoulders that remember they were built for wings, and eyes that refuse smallness. Michael goes with you. Truth goes before you. Mercy follows you. And the story that once drained you of color will become the testimony that paints your future in fearless light. My beloved child, now that the first veil has been lifted, I need you to sit with the weight of what this moment means for you. This is not just about one person or one revelation, it is about the divine shift that happens when heaven refuses to let you live in deception any longer. You see, when God pulls the mask from someone's face, He is not only answering your questions, He is also preparing the ground for your next season. There are doors that could not open while this hidden enemy still had access to your spirit. There are blessings that could not land while your energy was being siphoned away by false loyalty. This is why the message today feels like fire and water at the same time. It burns away what is unclean, and it cools your weary soul that has carried too much for too long. Do not mistake this for punishment. It is protection. The reason Archangel Michael is here with such urgency, with his voice thundering the word, emergency, is because your destiny carries too much weight to be delayed by counterfeit relationships. God has invested too much in you to let you be drained by someone who never celebrated you honestly. Think about the nights when you worked in silence, the days when you fought battles no one else could see, and the strength it took just to keep your faith alive. Every ounce of that effort is sacred to heaven. None of it will be wasted. That is why heaven is jealous for your heart, jealous for your future, jealous for your peace. And jealousy in God is not cruelty, it is fierce protection, the kind that will tear apart any net that tries to trap you. My child, I know part of you wonders why this had to come now, why on this date, why in this way. The answer is simple, because you are ready. In the past, the truth would have crushed you. In the past, you would have begged that person to stay even after seeing their betrayal. In the past, you would have traded your self-respect for the illusion of companionship. But not now. Heaven waited until your spirit was strong enough to see clearly without collapsing, until your self-worth was rooted enough that you would not hand it away again, until your future had matured enough to demand protection. This is divine timing, precise and intentional, and it is the greatest mercy you could have asked for. Feel how the words settle into your bones, how they do not argue with you but agree with what you already knew. That is the sign of truth. It does not fight your soul, it aligns with it. For so long you carried a quiet unrest, a suspicion that felt like disloyalty, a heaviness you could never explain. You thought perhaps it was your fault, perhaps you were too sensitive, too paranoid, too suspicious. But heaven says, no, child, you were discerning. What you called doubt was actually discernment tapping on the door of your heart. And now, instead of tapping, it has been swung wide open. Do you see the kindness of God here? He allowed you to sense what was wrong even before you could name it, because He would never let you walk completely blind. Now comes the sacred instruction. Once you know the truth, you cannot live as though you do not. To do so would be to betray yourself. This does not mean you must shout it to the world or make dramatic declarations. It simply means you must move in quiet alignment with heaven. Step back where you once leaned in. Guard what you once gave freely. Hold your dreams closer than before and only share them with those who have proven they can water them instead of trample them. Remember this, you are not required to explain every choice you make to people who have already disqualified themselves by their actions. Let your silence speak. Let your peace testify. Let your forward motion be your only answer. And know this, God is not only exposing, He is also replacing. When heaven removes what is false, it always sends what is true. The loneliness you fear will not last. The gap left by the unmasking will not remain empty. Michael himself is clearing the space for new alliances, new friendships, new connections that honor who you are instead of feeding on what you give. These will not drain you, they will multiply you. They will not compete with your light, they will add to it. And when they come, you will recognize them not by their words, but by the rest your soul feels in their presence. So walk carefully, but do not walk fearfully. The one who wanted to harm you has already failed. Their name is known, their intent exposed, their power broken. You are stepping out of the season of being prey and into the season of being preserved. You will look back on this day as the day your clarity was restored, the day your heart was vindicated, the day heaven said, "Enough." And from this day forward, you will not apologize for protecting your peace. You will not explain away your discernment. You will not second-guess the holy alarms in your spirit. You will honor them as the voice of God within you, the same voice that just saved you from deeper harm. My beloved, hear this final word of this moment: you are not defined by who tried to harm you, but by who defended you. You are not marked by betrayal, but by the rescue that came just in time. You are not the story of their deception, but the story of God's intervention. And the angels rejoice not because you were attacked, but because you were delivered. Lift your head, child of light. Walk as though you are guarded, because you are. The fire of Michael's sword will not leave your side, and every step you take now will echo with the authority of someone who has seen the truth and refused to be shaken. My beloved child, now lean even deeper into this current of truth, because what is unfolding before you is not a story to be half-read and forgotten but a living decree from heaven itself. Every word you are receiving now has been weighed, measured, and delivered with the precision of eternity, and you are the sole recipient. That alone should tell you how treasured you are, how carefully guarded your destiny must be, that the King of Heaven would send his fiercest warrior to your side on this very day. Do not rush through this moment as if it were ordinary. Nothing about this is ordinary. You are standing in the middle of a spiritual earthquake, one that is shaking loose the false attachments that clung to you, and at the same time, laying a foundation so strong that not even the fiercest storm will be able to move you again. The enemy's strategy was never just about harming you physically or financially, it was about distracting you long enough to make you forget who you are. That is always the devil's most consistent tactic. If he cannot destroy you outright, he will try to confuse you, entangle you, waste you. And what better way than to use someone close enough to hear your secrets, close enough to mirror your language, close enough to earn your trust? This is why it hurts so deeply. It is never the distant stranger that wounds the most, it is the one you let near, the one you thought was safe. But remember this, child of God, the depth of the betrayal only confirms the depth of the calling on your life. No one plots against a person with no value. No one wages war against someone who poses no threat to darkness. The fact that you have been targeted is proof that you are carrying something so powerful that hell itself fears it. You must now see yourself the way heaven sees you, set apart, radiant, chosen, untouchable except where God allows for your growth. Stop apologizing for the weight you carry. It is not a burden, it is an assignment. Stop diminishing your light to comfort those who prefer shadows. Your glow is meant to expose and heal, not to hide. Michael reminds you even now, you are not small. You were never small. The enemy only used illusion to convince you of it. That illusion is shattered today. You will not return to it. You will not rewrap yourself in the cloak of confusion. The truth is here, and it demands that you walk forward with your head lifted, your heart guarded, and your steps aligned with the one who sent you here. And what of the one who wanted to harm you? Their name no longer carries power over you, for heaven has spoken it aloud and stripped it of its secrecy. A hidden enemy is a dangerous enemy. An exposed enemy is a powerless one. They thought they could weave webs unseen, but the moment light touches a web, its fragility becomes obvious. One sweep of Michael's sword and it is gone. So it is with the one who conspired against you. They are being reduced even now, their influence withering, their false charm evaporating, their schemes unraveling before they can touch you again. You need not lift a finger in vengeance, your deliverance has already been written in the archives of heaven. All you need to do is believe it, receive it, and walk as if it is true, because it is. My beloved, there is something else you must understand. Exposure is not just about them, it is also about you. God is teaching you how to trust your spirit above your senses. He is showing you that the unease you felt, the warning bells that rang softly in your chest, were not paranoia but prophecy. Every moment you doubted yourself, heaven was watching and whispering, "Trust what I placed inside you." This unveiling is heaven's way of restoring your confidence, of teaching you that the inner voice you kept silencing is the very compass that will keep you safe for the rest of your journey. Never again call it doubt, call it discernment. Never again dismiss it, embrace it as the whisper of God's Spirit moving within you. You will see in the days ahead how everything begins to shift. The air will feel lighter because you are no longer carrying suspicion like a hidden stone in your pocket. The nights will feel calmer because you are no longer lying awake rehearsing what-ifs. The mornings will carry a new energy, because your spirit, no longer drained by duplicity, will finally have room to rise into joy again. This is the hidden gift of exposure. It doesn't just remove a person, it restores your power. You will feel it in your body, in your mind, in your emotions, even in your creativity. Where there was once a fog, there will be clarity. Where there was once hesitation, there will be momentum. Where there was once fear, there will be courage. Child, hear this well, you are stepping into a season where heaven will not allow anyone who carries poison to walk beside you. Do not resist when people fall away. Do not cling to what God Himself is removing. Some will distance themselves without explanation, some will crumble under the weight of their own lies, some will confess what you already knew, and some will simply vanish from your story. Let it happen. Do not chase. Do not mourn what was never real. Rejoice instead, for every space left empty is a space heaven intends to fill with the true, the loyal, the chosen. This is not the end of your circle, it is the cleansing of it. This is not abandonment, it is alignment. This is not loss, it is preparation for increase. And in the midst of all this, let your eyes stay fixed not on who left but on who remained, on God who never departed, on Michael who never failed to defend, on the Spirit who has always whispered wisdom when you needed it most. These are your constants, your eternal companions, the proof that you were never truly alone. The enemy may have plotted, but heaven has surrounded you with armies unseen, and those armies are rejoicing tonight because their mission succeeded. You saw the truth, and the truth has set you free. My beloved child, the moment you realize that heaven has orchestrated this unveiling for you, something inside begins to loosen, something long held tight in the fist of fear and doubt. That loosening is not weakness, it is release. It is the proof that chains are breaking, that heavy yokes are lifting, that what once weighed on your spirit is being cut away with precision by Michael's flaming sword. And you must understand, this is not a single act of mercy, it is a turning point. The God who loves you so fiercely has decided you will not walk into your next season blindfolded. He has decided that no matter how much you try to protect others by doubting yourself, it is time to protect yourself by trusting the Spirit within. That shift, this holy insistence, is the sound of heaven refusing to let you be prey another day longer. The identity of the one who wanted to harm you is not only about a name, it is about a pattern being broken. This person embodied the lesson that too many before them carried: smiles that hid daggers, words that disguised chains, closeness that concealed danger. But now the pattern is being shattered at the root. You will not keep encountering the same betrayal dressed in different faces, because heaven has decreed an end to this cycle. That is why the timing of this revelation matters so much. You are being repositioned into a future where discernment will be your armor, truth will be your shield, and wisdom will walk beside you like a trusted friend. The enemy's attempt to harm you has only become the stage for heaven to elevate you. Child, imagine yourself standing on a mountain at dawn. Behind you lies a valley filled with shadows, the valley where confusion and betrayal try to swallow you. Before you stretches a horizon painted in colors you have never seen before: gold, sapphire, violet, white flames of purity. That horizon is your tomorrow, and the sun rising over it is not just any sun, it is the light of God Himself declaring, "My child has endured enough night, let the day begin." This is what today represents: a divine sunrise, a transition that no power of darkness can reverse. And though you may still feel the sting of betrayal, remember that even pain is evidence that your heart still works, and a heart that still works can heal, grow, and love again. Listen carefully to Michael's counsel now. Do not waste energy trying to convince the one exposed to change. Do not drain your strength begging them to repent in the way you desire. That is heaven's business, not yours. Your task is to keep walking, to let go of the illusion that your healing depends on their apology. Your healing has already begun, sealed by revelation and guarded by my sword. They may never say the words you longed for, but you will thrive without them. Their silence will not starve you. Their absence will not break you. Their exposure is your exodus. Do you feel the power in those words? They are permission for you to step out of the prison where you held yourself captive waiting for validation from someone unworthy of giving it. And what of the days ahead, beloved? They will not be empty, they will be full. Full of opportunities that were blocked while you were distracted. Full of friendships that could not enter while betrayal occupied the table. Full of clarity that feels like clean air after years of breathing smoke. You will notice it first in small ways. The heaviness you carried for no reason will lift, the tension in your shoulders will ease, your mind will not rehearse conversations that never brought closure. Then it will show in larger ways. The doors that once slammed shut will swing open, the projects that stalled will move forward with speed, the joy you thought was gone forever will return with such intensity you will wonder how you ever lived without it. This is the gift of truth. It clears the atmosphere so blessings can finally land. And I must tell you this: God never exposes without also exalting. Do you hear that? Exposure is not meant to leave you in ashes, it is meant to make space for your rise. This is why the unveiling of your enemy's identity coincides with the unveiling of your own identity. You are not who they said you were when they whispered in shadows. You are not weak, not naive, not disposable. You are radiant, resilient, and marked for greatness. Their attempt to diminish you was simply an admission that they saw your power more clearly than you did. But heaven has decided that from this day forward, you will see yourself rightly. And when you do, no enemy will ever be able to convince you otherwise again. So walk into this day, this week, this season with new eyes. Let your prayers shift from, God, show me who is against me, to, God, align me with those who are truly for me. Let your posture change from one of self-doubt to one of holy confidence. Let your heart release its obsession with being understood, and instead rest in the knowledge that heaven has always understood you perfectly. You will no longer fight for scraps of loyalty, because you are seated at the table of divine abundance. You will no longer settle for crumbs of affection, because you are already loved beyond measure by the one who knit you together. And with that kind of love surrounding you, betrayal loses its sting and exposure becomes a gift. My beloved, the identity of the one who wanted to harm you has already been written on heaven's scroll and erased from your path. You do not need to chase the details, for heaven will let the truth reveal itself in perfect time. What you need to do now is stand tall in the freedom of knowing that nothing hidden can remain hidden when God has decreed exposure. Let the weight of that assurance sink in. You are protected. You are delivered. You are rising. And the very date of August 19th will stand in your memory as the day heaven's sword flashed and the cycle broke forever. My beloved child, every time you choose to keep reading, you are proving to heaven that you are ready for the fullness of this revelation, because only the brave lean into truth when it arrives dressed in fire. And let me tell you this without hesitation, what you are receiving is fire, but it is a fire that purifies rather than destroys. Think of gold when it is placed in a furnace. The flames do not ruin it, they refine it, burning away the dross that hides its brilliance. That is what is happening to you now. The betrayal you endured, the falsehoods you tolerated, the weight of suspicion you carried silently, these are the dross, the impurities heaven is burning away so that your worth, your beauty, your strength, and your calling will gleam unhindered before the world. Do not resist the heat, for it is proof that God has decided your season of hiding is over and your season of shining has begun. Now hear what Michael is saying in this very moment, my child, your tears were never wasted. Every night you cried wondering why love turned cold, why trust became fragile, why joy slipped through your hands, I was standing guard. Every sigh that rose from your chest was written in heaven's book, and every one of them cried out for justice. And today, on this day, the justice you have longed for is unfolding. Not the kind of justice that destroys, but the kind that heals by removing deception from your path. You will not be bound to cycles of confusion any longer. You will not carry the burden of uncertainty any longer. The one who wanted to harm you has been unmasked, and their power over you is broken. Do you feel the release in those words? It is not just language, it is deliverance pouring through every syllable. Beloved, I must remind you that heaven never reveals without restoring. Yes, you are losing something today, the illusion you once clung to, the relationship you thought was safe, the trust you invested in the wrong soil. But what you are gaining far outweighs it, clarity that will protect you for life, wisdom that will multiply your blessings, strength that no betrayal can ever take away again. You are stepping into a realm of discernment where you will see clearly not only who is against you but also who is truly for you. And that is where your joy will multiply. Imagine friendships that do not drain you but build you, partnerships that do not confuse you but align with you, love that does not leave you doubting but confirms itself daily through peace. This is the gift that comes when heaven does the pruning. And I know, my child, that part of your heart is tired. Tired of giving, tired of hoping, tired of being disappointed. That fatigue is real. But let me tell you why heaven intervened with such urgency, because if you carried that tiredness any longer, it would have begun to dim your faith in yourself. And God will not allow that. He loves you too much to let you live permanently weary. That is why Michael's words came as a command, not a suggestion. Open this now, he said, because waiting another moment would have meant one more day of your spirit bending under a weight it was never meant to carry. Heaven rushed in to ensure you would not be crushed. Heaven declared this emergency to guarantee your survival and your rise. Look around your life with new eyes now. You will begin to notice the difference between presence and pretense, between support and surveillance, between affection and manipulation. You will recognize who truly prays for you and who only preys on you. You will notice who rejoices sincerely when you are blessed and who shrinks in discomfort when your light grows brighter. These revelations will not come with confusion but with peace. That is the mark of the Spirit, truth that does not stir anxiety but anchors you deeper into security. From now on, your steps will be steadier because you no longer walk half blind. The light of heaven has cleared the path, and every hidden trap has been marked. Beloved, there is something deeper still. This revelation is not just about removing one person from your path. It is about positioning you for something greater. The enemy attacked because he saw what was coming, doors that are about to open for you, opportunities prepared before you were even born, blessings that will ripple not only through your life but through generations after you. The attack was not random, it was targeted, designed to wear you down before the breakthrough arrived. But because you have received this message, the plot has failed. The very energy meant to destroy you has now become the wind that will push you into your new season. You will look back and see that what felt like a breaking point was actually your birthing point. So let your heart stop rehearsing the pain and start rehearsing the promise. Let your prayers stop circling around, "Why did this happen?" and begin circling around, "What are you building in me now?" For the truth is, God wastes nothing. Even betrayal becomes a teacher, even exposure becomes a doorway, even tears become seeds that bloom into testimonies. And soon, very soon, the harvest of this moment will appear before you, undeniable and overflowing. And you will say, "Surely the Lord was with me all along. Surely He turned even this for my good." My beloved child, hold fast to this truth. The identity of the one who wanted to harm you no longer matters as much as the identity of the one who has saved you. Their name may be revealed, but His name is the one that will carry you. And that name, Jesus, the Christ, the Deliverer, stands written above you like a banner of victory that no storm can tear down. You are covered, you are chosen, and you are free.